Good evening, guys. Welcome to our first mathematics class. Hope you had an enjoyable day. Yeah, straight to business. We're going to be having a math class now, and we are going to be working on the topics in the brief session. Do well to check the topics to be covered that's been attached as PDF. So without further much ado, let's go into the first topic, basic algebra, which include, fractions, decimal, and percentages. So right now we're going to be working on fractions, decimals, and percentages. I hope nobody is colorblind here. Hope everybody can see the color yellow. All right. Because this topic is a topic you've done before, it's a topic everyone has done frequently. So we're going to be solving more of questions because we are trying to deepen your knowledge of this topic. So for us to be able to get this topic better, we're going to be solving a whole lot of jam-styled questions on fractions, decimals, and percentages. Mind you, for topics that like the bulk of us might not be familiar with, I would explain the topic again. But this is a topic we're all very familiar with. So let's just solve a lot of questions to deepen our understanding. Alright, so the first question we have is this fraction. If 3 over x minus 2 over x plus 1 is equals to 1 over 6. Yeah, find x. Now the first thing you want to do in this situation where we have us finding x, I don't know, we always like finding our x in maths. I don't even like my x like that. But anyway, back to the topic. Whenever you're told to find probably a variable x, y, z, a, what have you, and it's a fraction like this, the first thing you want to do is, make sure that we have only one fraction on the left of the equal to sign and one fraction on the right of the equal to sign. But if you look at what we have here, we have two fractions, fraction 1, fraction 2 on the left hand side, and we have 1 on the right hand side. So we want to try and reduce the left hand side into 1. How can we do that? Look at the sign that is in the fraction. If it's a multiply or a divide, you know what to do. Multiply, up times up, down times down, or up divided by up, down divided by down. But if it's plus or minus, what you want to do is LCM. So you want to do the LCM of the fractions before you apply the sign, which is the binary operation. Yeah, so what is the LCM of x and x plus 1? Basically, the LCM of x and x plus 1 is the product of both of them, which is x into bracket x plus 1. So I'm going to be doing x into bracket x plus 1. And I'm going to be saying this divided by x leaves me with only x plus 1. Then I multiply it by 3, which becomes 3 into bracket x plus 1. I'm sure it was not too difficult for us to understand. Now we'll do the same thing to this LCM here divided by x plus 1 leaves us with only x multiplied by 2. I'm going to be left with 2x. For those that don't understand it, if I do x into bracket x plus 1 divided by x plus 1, this cancels this, leaving us with only x. So that x will multiply the 2 on top. I'm sure you guys know how to do it. I'm just making it more clear for some of us. Alright. Now we can go on to put the other side of the equation, 1 over 6. Now it's easy. Before we cross multiply, let's try and simplify the brackets, which would lead us to 3x plus 3. How did we get this? 3 multiplied by x, 3x. 3 multiplied by 1, 3. Minus 2x all over. Let's do the same thing for the bottom. X multiplied by x gives us x squared. And x multiplied by 1 gives us x. is equals to 1 over 6. Now I can cross multiply. If I cross multiply, what do I have? I'm going to be having, well, 6 into brackets 3x plus 3 minus 2x is equals to x squared plus x. Yeah, I still have like terms inside the bracket, so let's simplify that out. So I'm going to be having 6 into, well, 3x minus 2x leaves us with only x. Too many x's, man. Plus 3. Alright. Is equals to x squared plus x. I could still open the bracket and say this is going to be 6x plus 6 times 3 is 18 is equals to x squared plus x. Now we can move everything on one side to the other side. Why? Because we can smell a quadratic equation here. How am I smelling it and you're not smelling it? Just look for the power of 2. Once you see the power of 2 on a variable, and like that's the highest power, you know there's a quadratic equation lying down somewhere. So let's find it out by moving everything to one side. So let me move all of this to the other side. So it becomes 0 is equals to x squared plus x. Now 6x went to the other side, so it became minus 6x. And 18 also went to the other side, which became minus 18. Some of you are asking, how did we get 0? And when you take everything from one side to the other side, you are left with 0 on that side. Fair enough. Now we have like terms here that we could work with, x and minus 6x. So when we do that, you're going to be having x squared. X minus 6x gives us minus 5x minus 18. Yeah. So how do we solve this quadratic equation? You could think of sum and product, but I'm not sure sum and product will be able to solve this. Let's just use the quadratic formula. You can recall that the quadratic formula states that x is equals to minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And in a quadratic equation, the coefficient of x squared is a, the coefficient of x is b, and the constant is c. So if we compare this and this, what do we notice is the coefficient of x squared is 1, the coefficient of x is negative 5, and the constant is negative 18. So let's plug it into the quadratic equation and let's solve. So plugging it into the quadratic equation, what do we have? We have x is equals to minus of minus 5 plus or minus the root of, well, minus 5 squared gives us 25. Don't let us waste our time. Minus 5 times minus 5 gives us plus 25. Minus 4 times a is 1, c is minus 18. Right? All over 2 times 1. Which takes us to minus multiplied by minus gives us plus. We have plus 5 plus or minus the square root of what? So let's press our calculator. Minus 4 multiplied by 1 minus 4 multiplied by 1 multiplied by minus 18. So we have 72. So we have 25 plus 72 all over 2. Which takes us to 5 plus or minus 25 plus 72 gives us what? 97. 97 over 2. Right? So what is the square root of 97? We don't have an option. Sometimes your answer might be left in short form. So if our answer is left in short form, we are not going to find the square root. We'll just leave it like that. And we'll just do 5 plus root 97 over 2 or 5 minus root 97 over 2. But we're not giving an option here. And we don't know if they left the answers in short form or not. So we'll just proceed to solve everything like short form was not needed. So we can say this is, what is the square root of 97? Press your calculator very fast. Let me wait for you to punch your calculator. Punch your calculator very fast. How did you get? Alright. So 9.84. Well, 9.85 is actually correct. So I'm going to be having 5 plus or minus 9.85 over 2. Which is going to be 5 plus 9.85 over 2, or 5 minus 9.85 over 2. Alright, so if we keep going, if we do 5 plus 9.85, we have 14.85 over 2, or if we do 5 minus 9.85, we have minus 4.85 over 2. So punch your calculator. What do we have as our final answers? 14.85 divided by 2 gives us 7.425. So x is equals to 7.425, or 4.85, negative 4.85 divided by 2 leaves us with negative 2.425, and we have found x. I don't feel like this was way too difficult for us to handle. You can always rewind the video and watch it again in case you got confused anyway. Alright, let's try and solve the next set of questions. The next question says, this is on percentage though. Well, let's solve one more on fraction before we go to percentage. 5 over x minus 1. So we have 5 over x minus 1. Yeah. I'm coming. 5 over x minus 1 plus 1 over x plus 2 is equals to 3 over 4. This is the question. I would attach a PDF of all the examples we are solving, so you could get the questions from there. Yeah. So we are also told to find x for this question. How can we find x? The same procedure. Make sure we have one fraction on the left and one fraction on the right. Look at the sign where there are two fractions. If it's a plus or minus, do an LCM. So clearly, I know that I have to do an LCM for this guy here. So I think of what is the LCM of the denominators, x minus 1 and x plus 2. Just multiply them together. It's that easy. So the LCM for x plus 1, x minus 2 and x plus 1 is x minus 1. Sorry, I know why my x minus 1. What is wrong with my system now? Into bracket x plus 2. Yeah. So if this divided by this, I'm left with only x plus 2. Multiplied by 5, I have 5 into bracket x plus 2. Yes, I put the plus sign back, plus. The LCM divided by x plus 2, I'm left with only x minus 1. Multiply by 1, I have x minus 1 is equals to 3 over 4. Yeah, let's simplify by opening the bracket. So I'm going to be having 5x plus 10. How did I get it? 5 multiplied by x, 5x. 5 multiplied by 2, 10. Well, we could open the bracket with 1. 1 times x is x. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Over, let's open the bracket here now. X, now there's no sign in between. Whenever you don't see a sign in between two brackets, it's multiplication. So we're going to be doing multiplication right now. So x times x gives us x squared. X times plus 2 gives us plus 2x. Minus 1 multiplied by x gives us minus x. Minus 1 multiplied by plus 2 gives us minus 2. Sorry, please, do you have an headphone? which is equals to 3 over 4. Alright, so we can still simplify by collecting like terms. And the like terms here are going to be 5x and x, which is going to be 5x plus x gives us 6x. Then 10 minus 1 gives us 9. Let's go to the denominator too. 2x minus x leaves us with 1x. So I have x squared minus x minus 2 is equals to 3 over 4. Take your time, do not rush it. Make sure you don't get confused. Alright? Take your time, do not rush it. Make sure you are not rushing it. Alright, now I can cross multiply. When I cross multiply, what am I left with? I am left with 4 into bracket 6x minus 9 is equals to 3 into bracket x squared minus x minus 2. Right? So when I open the brackets, 4 times 6x gives us 24x. And 4 times minus 9 gives us minus 36. This is going to be equals to 3 times x squared gives us 3x squared. 3 times minus x gives us minus 3x. And 3 times minus 2 gives us minus 6. Are we good? Yeah, we could go on. And we keep solving. Collect like terms. Should we? I know what you are thinking. You're also smelling a quadratic equation, right? Yes, we can smell a quadratic equation. So let's move everything to one side so we can bring out the quadratic equation. So what I will do is I'm going to move these guys to the other side so I can bring out the quadratic equation. So doing that, I'm going to be having 0 is equals to 3x squared minus 3x, well, minus 6. Now 24x goes to the other side and it becomes minus 24x, and minus 36 goes to the other side and becomes plus 36. You know what happens when a number or a variable crosses the equals to sign. So we still have like terms. We have minus 3x and minus 24x. Minus 3x minus 24x gives us minus 27x. Minus 6 plus 36. You are owing 6, you have 36, you are left with only 30. Is equals to 0. Yeah, we could use factorization to solve this, but unnecessary. Let's just use the quadratic formula once. Remember, x is equals to minus b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac. Minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And you can recall that in a quadratic equation it is ax squared plus bx plus c. Coefficient of x squared is a, coefficient of x is b, and the constant is c. Therefore, our a in this situation is 3. Our b is minus 27. Our b is minus 27 and our c is 30. So I'm going to be having x is equals to minus 27 plus or minus the square root of, well, minus 27 squared is, let's calculate it with a calculator. Minus 27 squared gives us 729. Yeah, so we have 729 minus 4 times a is 3. So 4 times 3 times c is 30. All over 2a, 2 multiplied by 3. Are we together? So you don't mix all the calculations together. Yeah. So let's keep going. So we can say that x is equals to, well, 27, because minus times minus gives us plus. So we are left with 27 plus or minus the square root of 729. Now let's do the math. Minus 4 so we are going to be having minus, my bad, my calculator is loading. So I'm going to be having minus 4 times 3 times 30, and we have minus 360 as the final answer. All over 2 multiplied by 3 gives us 6. I hope we're together. So which takes us to x is equals to 27 plus or minus 729 minus 360. Punch a calculator. 369. So we have the square root of 369 all over 6, which leads us to 27 plus or minus. So the square root of 369 is 19.2. So I'm going to be having 19.2 all over 6, which can be written as 27 plus 19.2 over 6, or 27 minus 19.2 over 6. Right. So what is the final answer? So press your calculator. 27 plus 19.2 is 46.2. Divide by 6 is 7.7. So our x is 7.7, or so we'll do 27 minus 19.2, that's 7.8 divided by 6, 1.3. So our final answer is x is equals to 7.7 or 1.3. Please, if you are confused, watch the video again and feel free to pause at every interval you need to pause. Yeah, let's take one more question and fraction before we move over to percentages. Right, this is 2x plus 1 over x minus 3 is equals to 3x minus 5 over x plus 2. Now look at it. This is quite straightforward than what we have been doing before. Why? Because we have one fraction on the left and one fraction on the right. Yeah. So all we just need to do is cross multiply. So it will take us to 2x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 2 is going to be equals to 3x minus 5 multiplied by x minus 3. Now let's try and open the bracket. 2x times x gives us 2x squared. 2x times plus 2 gives us plus 4x. Feel free to press your calculator. 1 times x gives us x. 1 times 2 gives us 2, right? Equals to 3x times x gives us 3x squared. 3x times minus 3 gives us 9 minus 9x Minus 5 times x gives us minus 5x. Minus 5 times minus 3 gives us plus 15. Yeah, let's move everything to one side because we could see squares and squares. We know there's a quadratic equation line somewhere. So we have 3x squared minus, well, let's even simplify it before moving. So we have 2x squared plus 4x plus x is 5x plus 2 is equals to 3x squared minus 9 minus 5 is minus 14x. Right, so now we can move everything to the other side, and we're going to be having 0 is equals to 3x squared minus 14x, well, plus 15 minus 2x squared minus 5x minus 2. Do not forget, when a variable crosses the equals to sign, the sign changes from positive to negative or from negative to positive. It depends on which of them you have. So 3x squared minus 2x squared leaves us with x squared. Now we are working with only like terms here. Minus 14x minus 5x leaves us with minus 19x. You are owing 14, then you owe another 5. Then 15 minus 2 leaves us with 13. So we have a quadratic equation. Yeah, let's solve it using the quadratic formula method again. And the quadratic formula says x is equals to minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Are we good? So what do we have? We have x is equals to, I don't need to tell you now, your a is 1. So let's just write it. A is 1, b is minus 19, and c is 13. So we go, x is equals to, well, minus 19. You should be used to it now. It leaves us with plus 19 because minus times minus is plus. Fair enough. Plus or minus the root of b squared, and our b is minus 19. So when you do minus 19 squared, what do you have? Press your calculator, please. 361. So I have 361 minus 4 times our a is 1 and our c is 13 all over 2 times 1. So we can keep solving, and we have 19 plus or minus the square root of 361 minus, now let's do our calculator. 4 times 1 times 13 gives us minus 52. Please do not ignore the minus. All over 2. Right. I'm going to be having x is equals to 19 plus or minus. Now, if you do 361 minus 52, what are you left with? You're left with 309. 309 all over 2. Right. So, what is the square root of 309? 17.58. Let's just say 17.6. Let's avoid too much decimals. So I have x is equals to 19 plus or minus 17.6 all over 2. Which takes us to x is equals to 19 plus 17.6 over 2, or 19 minus 17.6 over 2, which becomes, where's the calculator? That's 36.6 divided by 2 is 18.3, or 19 minus 17.6, that's 1.4 divided by 2, 0.7. I hope we understood how we solved it. Don't forget, if you don't understand, feel free to pause the video, replay it as many as possible times that is necessary. Alright, allow me take a more tricky question. Probably this will be the only fraction question I'm going to do next, but we'll go on to like percentages and something else. Let's do a quite tricky question. This is more of a word problem question. Now, the question says, the sum of reciprocals of two numbers is 5/6. Probably I should write it down. I said the sum of reciprocals of two numbers is 5/6, and their product is 9. What is the sum of the numbers? That's what they asked us to find. What is the sum of the numbers? For some of you that feel that you can solve it, pause the video and give it a try. Then come back to the video to see if you actually got the answer. I'll wait for you. And for those that don't even have an idea of what to do, the first thing you need to understand is they said the sum of reciprocals. What does reciprocal mean? In simple terms, the reciprocal of a number is the inverse of a number. So let's say a number is 3. Then the reciprocal is 1/3. Why is it 1/3? Because 3 means 3/1. Inverse means take down up and take up down. Did you understand it? So let's say the number is 2/5. Then the reciprocal is equals to 5/2. Are we together? Let's say the number is, let's say, 0.5. 0.5 in fraction is same thing as saying 1/2. Therefore, the reciprocal is 2. Are we good? So you know what reciprocal means? Inverse. Take down, up. Take up, down. Yeah, very good. Now, they didn't tell us the two numbers here. So we have to assume the number is probably A or B. So let's call the first number A. Let's call the second number B. So the first number is A. First number, and B is equals to second number. This is jump maths. It's because this is our first class. That's why I'm still writing so many things for you. In a jam class, you want to quickly solve your questions in the least steps possible. But because this is one of our first classes together, yeah, I'd probably write all of this down for you guys though. Right. Now they told us the sum of the reciprocals of the two numbers. So the reciprocal of A, don't forget, A is equal to saying A/1. So the reciprocal of A is 1/A, right? And the reciprocal of B is 1/B. So they said when we add these reciprocals together, that's 1/A plus 1/B. We got 5/6. Let's call this equation 1. We don't know these two numbers. We don't know what A is or what B is. But when we did the reciprocal of A is 1/A, and the reciprocal of B is 1/B. When we added both of them together, we got 5/6. Yeah? That's equation 1. They give us another statement. They said their product is 9, which means the product of these two numbers, A multiplied by B, is equals to 9. Listen, they didn't say the product of the reciprocals. They just said that their product is 9. So it is A multiplied by B. Are we good? Let's call this equation 2. Now they asked us to find the sum of the two numbers. What we are looking for is A plus B. That's what we are looking for. But to find A plus B, I have to know, well, do I have to know anything? Let's find out. Let's pick equation 1. 1/A plus 1 over b is equals to 5 over 6. I told you we've done this before. When we have this kind of arrangement, make sure there's one fraction on the left and one fraction on the right. So I have to find a way to reduce these two fractions into one. So first I have to look for the LCM to do that, which I've taught you already. So the LCM of a and b is just a times b, which is ab. Now I do ab divided by a, leaves me with only b, times 1 gives me b. AB divided by b leaves me with a, times 1 gives me what? A is equals to 5 over 6. Now let me show you something interesting. Don't let me take you too far, but there's something in binary operation called commutativity. It says a plus b is the same thing as saying b plus a, as far as it's plus. That's the simplest form. That's not exactly what commutative law of binary operations is, but that's the simplest way to understand it. A plus b is the same thing as saying b plus a. So allow me to rewrite this as a plus b over ab is equals to 5 over 6. Now look at it, we've been given in equation 2 that ab, which is a times b, is 9. Therefore I can say a plus b over 9, substituting for ab, which they've given us here, is equals to 5 over 6. Now I can cross multiply. If I cross multiply, what do I have? I'm going to be having 6 into bracket a plus b is equals to 5 times 9. So I'm going to be having, I know what is on your mind. Let me find a, let me find b, but I don't need to do that. Why don't I need to do that? Watch me. Because I'm looking for a plus b. I treat this a plus b as x. This whole thing like this. I just treat it as x. And I don't touch it. If they ask us to find a, then find b. That's different. But they ask us to find a plus b. So I just treat a plus b as one variable. And I don't try to break it apart. Does it make sense? So it's like I'm saying 6x is equals to 5 times 9. Do you understand it? So I'm going to be having 6 into bracket a plus b is equals to 5 times 9 is 45. Therefore I could divide both sides by 6, and I'm going to be saying a plus b is equals to 45 over 6. That's my final answer. Can I leave matter like this? Now, this is improper fraction, so I have to either leave it as a decimal or as a proper fraction. Let me just leave it as a decimal. No waste my time. 45.6. 45 divided by 6. 7.5. Therefore, a plus b is equals to 7.5. Quite excellently done. Alright, so let's take this question on percentages. We said a student is using a cylinder to measure the volume of water, and the student reports a reading of 18 milliliters. So the student's reading, let's just write it, student's reading is 18 milliliters of water, but the teacher's reading is 18.4 milliliters of water. We are asked to find the student's percentage error, which means the students made the error. And if you can remember, the formula for percentage error is equals to error over actual times 100%. So what was the error here? The student's reading, which is equals to 18. And what was the actual? 18.4. Times 100%. But believe me, if you have done this, you would have failed it. Because the error is not just 18 milliliters. The error is the difference between what is right and what is wrong. So If you can recall your percentage error is actual minus wrong reading or wrong reading minus actual, depending on which of them is bigger. Did you understand it? So we have to first calculate our error first. So our error is equals to 18.4 minus 18, which makes the error 0.4. Please do not assume the wrong reading is the error. Good. So we can now go on and say percentage error is equals to 0.4 over what's the actual reading? The actual reading is 18.4 times 100%. And if you press your calculator, 0.4 divided by 18.4 times 100%, you get the percentage error to be 2.17%. That was easy and fast. It didn't take too much time. Let's see if we can solve more questions on percentages. Alright, now we have another question here. The question says, a trader, let me write this for you. A trader bought 100 oranges at $5 for 1.2 naira. So he's buying 100 oranges at 5 for 1.2. Now we're told that 20 oranges were spoiled. And the remaining were sold. At 4 for 1.5. Find the percentage gain or loss. I have to be very careful. This question is quite tricky. They are trying to play with our intellect in this question, but would not agree for them because it's not as hard as it seems. Alright, now look at it. They said a trader bought oranges at 5 for 1.2 naira. Look at it. So let's take it little by little. So if I buy 5 for 1.2 naira, then how much will be 1? Then 1 orange will be equals to 1.2 divided by 5. Does it make sense? Make it simpler, faster, you save yourself stress. 1.2 divided by 5 is 0.24. Therefore, the cost price is 0.24 times 100 oranges. Are we together? Which is going to be equals to 24 naira. Does this make sense? Alright, so let's go on. Now they said 20 oranges were spoiled. So we know that the total cost of the oranges was 24 naira. So let me write its cost, 24 naira. I said 100 oranges were spoiled. You can't sell spoiled oranges. So there were 80 oranges left to sell. So we had 80 oranges to sell. And it has sold the remaining 80 at 4 for 1.5 naira. So let's do the same math again. If it was 4 for 1.5 naira, then 1 is going to be equals to 1.5 divided by 4. Are we together? Which is going to be 1. Press your calculator. What did you get? 0.375. Therefore, the selling price is 0.375 multiplied by 80 oranges to sell. Did you understand it? Don't forget, we don't have the entire 100 to sell. We have only 80 to sell. So we do 0.375 times the 80 and we get 30. So it means the amount we made from our sales is 30. So cost is 24, sales is 30. Let's calculate, what do you ask us to calculate? The percentage gain or loss. Now, because the selling price is bigger than the cost price, first we have a gain. So percentage gain, if you can remember, is selling price minus cost price over cost price times 100%, which is going to be equals to 30 naira minus 24 naira over 24 naira times 100%, which is going to be equals to 30 minus 24 is 6, so I have 6 over 24 times 100%. Press your calculator, 6 divided by 24 is 0.25 times 100 is equals to 25% profit. Do you understand that? Yeah, it's not that hard. Percentages should not really be so much of a problem because it's usually straightforward. But let's see if we can get maybe one more question on percentages. Okay, so it's more of simple interest, so it's still easy. We're told to calculate the simple interest or on 7.5 for 8 years at 5% per annum. This is quite easy. You could solve this with your eyes closed. Remember that the formula for simple interest is equals to principal times rate times time over 100. So what is the principal here? 7.5. What is the rate? 5%. That's 5. What is the time here? 8 years all over 100. The 2 zeros cancels the 2 zeros. So I'm left with 75 times 5 times 8. And if you press your calculator, you will notice that your final answer is going to be equals to 3,000. Therefore, the simple interest is 3,000 naira. Easy. It's easy peasy. Well, that will be all for this first unit, or the first topic, fractions, decimals, and percentages. I'll drop some practice question, which is going to be compulsory assignments that you must do and submit by latest by latest 12 o'clock midnight on Wednesday. That's the deadline. So the deadline is 00 o'clock Wednesday midnight or Wednesday morning. So that's Tuesday/Wednesday, the midnight in between Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the deadline for submission. Do well to attempt the questions. Do not feel like you are a big boy or you are a big girl and you are too big to attempt this question. Instructions on how you would submit the assignment will be attached shortly in the general group. But till next time, be good. Take care of yourself.